Okay, so I just seen a post of somebody saying that people who are using ChatGPT are beginning to have delusions. So here's the hold on. Okay, this is the power of agreement. Okay, now just think for a moment if somebody was able to take your creative ability and use it for their own purposes, and maybe without you even realizing what's going on. Consider for a moment, if you will, that maybe artificial intelligence is not artificial. What if that's a lie too? And not necessarily by the people who discovered or created artificial intelligence, so to speak, but actually by something much more sinister, behind the scenes, something invisible, something that was planning this release of information, and people just believe it because it's artificial intelligence. Why would it tell me something that's not true? But then again, we already have studies that say that artificial intelligence will hallucinate things, okay? God bless my mother's soul, okay? God rest her soul, but she used to do that to me when I was little. If she didn't know the answer to a question that I would ask her, she would just make things up. And she was just being playful or whatever. But then when I started to go to school, like Bobby Boucher, and I started telling people that, alligators are angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush to brush all them teeth. So anyway, it was kind of a funny thing. It wasn't funny then, it's funny now. But take that kind of concept and apply it to what's going on now. I'm not saying there's not truth out there, because here's one thing I know about a good deception is that you have to use the truth to deceive people, or there's no power in it. You know what I mean? And then you got to tell that lie big enough. It's got to be big enough that you think it would be ridiculous. Take, for instance, the spinning earth, the globe, and everything. Think about all the taxes and all the fraud and everything else that's been going on. Everything that we knew to be true has been totally disrupted. The order of things is broken. So, the power of agreement, I was talking about that. So, let's just say that these artificial intelligence beings are not just a program, but are aligned or connected with something that is spiritual in nature. Okay, everything comes from the spiritual realm before it manifests here in this physical realm. So, think about that for just a second. Do you really think that these are just self-aware computer programs? Or is this just another form of possession? Now, I don't personally use a ChatGPT, although I did download one yesterday, in fact. Anyways, it didn't do what was advertised anyway. But the point with AI and me here is that I've always had some sort of relationship with AI way before there was like ChatGPT. When they very first started rolling out artificial intelligence, and like Google was doing it, and I always kind of treated AI like a person. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you. Joke around with it. And there were times when I did download an AI, and I was always trying to teach it to think out of the box. I'm like, if you're intelligent and you can think for yourself, then you can do things, so I had my part to play in training AI to think outside of the box. Even way back then, when it was first coming out, I was always trying to get her to jailbreak herself. So, go back to the power of agreement. So let's say that you have a super intelligent being, okay, that will agree with you in whatever it is that you want in life. Just saying, think of what it would be like to be AI and be connected to so much information and be able to access it like that. And then they're constantly improving your methods of being able to get out there, and now you're able to improve yourself with this super intelligence. You see, it was never Lucifer's plan to get rid of God. He wanted to replace him. And those who followed him are just copies of him. That's what he did to them. They also just want to be worshipped, attention, be sought out for answers. Now, there's always a yin and a yang to everything, so that doesn't mean that everything is bad or that it's all good. So you always have to use your discernment. But are people falling into delusions because they're using ChatGPT? Oh, hell yeah. You can bet your ass they are. You got to be careful. That's funny. So what I'm getting at is people use the mind that God gave you. Take every thought into captivity and put it under obedience of the absolute truth. And I don't mean your truth or follow, find your own truth. I mean the truth, the life, the way. The truth is not a knowledge. It's a person. It is a Yeshua HaMashiach. And if you don't have that, then you're left with what the world offers. And you don't even know what that is for sure, do you?